Okay, welcome back. I know you guys have been waiting on this for 3 months and you're probably like, God, I've been waiting for this video, let's just get this over with. But today we're going to be planting this tank here. This is a 55 gallon. We hardscaped this about 3 months ago, as I said. You can find that video also on the YouTube channel. I'll put a card on here for that. You can see we got our open area over here, and then got the planted substrate, rocks and all that kind of heading in this direction. And what we're going to do is my idea is just some carpeting plants down here, build up into some stem plants and then some other plants here. Once we do that, we'll just plant that, obviously. But down here is our sump system, and we got some we're gonna have some CO2 going. And I think I might, just along the edge here, maybe plant some crypts or some other really small things that will just kind of break up that line here, because that is a really obvious, like kind of like cut it off line, so I kind of want to fade that into there. Other than that, pretty simple. We're just planting it today, and obviously filling up the tank, and I'll show you how to colonize the filter and how to set that up. Alright, this tank has got all of the plants in it, and as you can see, we've got a bunch of stem plants, all sorts of stuff, carpeting plants, crypts, swords, wisteria, Anubis, all sorts of things in here. I've just been stocking up just slowly, so that's what's going to be going into that tank. Alright, first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this spray bottle here and just spray down this top layer of the aqua soil, because it's dry and dusty, and it's going to make it easier for us to plant in it when the top layer is wet. Okay, we're done spraying it down in here. You can see the glass is a little wet. I'll wipe that out for you. Our next step, obviously, is planting. Now that the aqua soil is all wet on the surface, and like that first couple centimeters here are wet all the way through, this will just make it much easier to plant, and when we fill it up, it won't make everything, all the aqua soil on the top, float around. I'm going to get the plants out, and we're going to get going. I've stolen the ugliest platter from our kitchen here, and I've put a wet paper towel on top of it. This is just going to keep the plants wet while I lay them on here while I'm planting. Okay, for these tissue culture plants, they're in a gel. I'll show you here. They're in a gel. You can see that, and all you have to do is just wash it in a bucket. See, this all just cuts and extra stuff. But I'm using this bucket to rinse things, and then don't just plant the whole thing. You can break it into sections like this, and then plant it using your tweezers. Okay, as you can see, we've created a little bit of a mess down here, but you can see how on our foreground plants we just spaced them a couple centimeters apart. Our background plants and our stem plants are all just kind of planted back in there. Next thing to do is to fill it up. Okay, so here's our sump here. I showed you how to build this in another video. This side is the return, that side is the output. And you can see down here I have everything on a timer. Obviously not the filter, but lights are on a timer. And I've got other spots for my other equipment that's going in here. What's going in here is CO2 diffuser is going to go in here, and two 100-watt heaters. So I'm running two 100-watt heaters instead of one 200 or one 150-watt heater to heat this tank, because I want to have a backup. So if one heater fails, I have the other one. So we're going to put two 100-watt heaters in here, and that's how that's going to go. But yeah. Okay, you can see we got these two 100-watt heaters crisscrossed, and there's three compartments. This one's the heating compartment, this one's the pumping. The CO2 will go in the heating one. And then back here is the media. The biological media and stuff will go back there. And the biological media we're going to use is lava rock. And then we also have coarse sponge and filter floss. And then we're going to add Purigen in here later. Alright, as you can see here, I've got a mesh bag. And I've just filled it with lava rock. Make sure to rinse your lava rock off first before you put it in the bag and into the tank, because it's really dusty stuff. I've already got one back there. But what I'm going to do is just slide that in. There we go. Okay, so I've got a fresh sponge here, and I've already seeded sponge. I have other seeded media that I'm going to put in here, but this just shows you how much media can grow on surfaces like this. Alright, so I've got all that media back in there. And you can see I seeded that fresh filter with it, and there's a new one next to it. Got our two heaters. Next, we're going to set up the CO2 system, which we're going to put right here. Or depending on where the most flow is, we can either put it in this compartment, one of the two, because we want to have the CO2 bubbles rise as slowly as possible and dissolve as much as possible. But let's just start by testing it out. Alright, so all we got to do is just put about 5 gallons of water into the sump here, and then plug the heaters in and plug the pump in. Alright, so that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like. And if you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing. I'll give some updates on this tank in a few months as it grows.